Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this Raw Talking Points video. And I feel like there's so many talking points coming out of this episode of Raw. We started the show with the OTC. Feels like he's got a slightly updated shirt with some stars in the background. You could even see them over there on his Titantron. He would come down and come out to the ring. You could see that when he was in the ring, there was a Meltzer Fears fax sign in the background. This would all lead basically to him being interrupted by Bronson and by Paul Heyman. And of course, we would basically get the announcement that we are going to do Roman against Bronson Reed at Crown Jewel. It's going to be an Australian street fight. These two would get into a brawl. Roman here, mid-Superman punch. It was really, really good, actually. Kind of felt like it took us a little while to get to the announcement, but I really liked it when we got there, because I think Heyman said something like, this is the match that Bronson Reed was famous for before he joined WWE, and that is an Australian street fight. And of course, it's going to be in Australia. So, I mean, it does feel like Bronson's going to go into this match with a bit of an advantage, but of course it's Roman as well. So, yeah, I think they did a good job of really building that up, honestly. Then we got an amazing backstage segment. I mean, this show really was cooking in the early stages. Backstage, we found out that Asuka had managed to get a match made between Kairi and Iyo. Kairi did not want this match, and Asuka ended up slapping Kairi. And basically Kairi agreed to the match so that she didn't upset Asuka. But as soon as Asuka walked away, I mean, you could see the despair from Kairi. Kairi really going through it here, right? She did not want this match. But I thought that was really, really good. The segment was so well delivered. So well delivered. Then we went to our first match. Now, this is a real talking point, this match. This is Maxxine Dupri against Becky Lynch. You can see this sign in the crowd. Sports Illustrated #1, Maxxine Dupri. So someone in the crowd with a pro Maxxine sign. This might be a bit unpopular, I'm not sure, but I thought the early stages of this match were not very good. There was like a drop kick that was off. There was a couple of spots that looked a bit clunky. It just didn't look quite right. It didn't look good. I was very surprised they opened the show with this match. Online, there is a lot of praise for the match. The crowd were chanting, "This is awesome." It is easily Maxxine's best match so far, right? So there are positives. And what I will say is, even though the beginning was a bit off, a bit clunky, I thought that they actually managed to find their way to a pretty decent match by the end. I thought the middle and the end of it was actually quite good. So, yes, I think this was acceptable. I thought that it was not a bad effort. I do think the start of it was a bit off, though. I can't overlook that. I really wanted to get a good, accurate read from our community, from our live watch-along, as to what you lot thought, because we know the commentators are going to go crazy and put the match over. We know the live crowd, who were really good tonight, actually, all throughout the show, they were going to be invested as well, right? But what was the truth? What did people at home actually think? And our community said it was good 91%, which is a little bit low, to be honest. Normally, most matches come in about good 95. So good 91, I would say, is just a touch below average. So if you want to get an idea as to how people reacted to the match, I would say a bit of a mixed bag. There's lots of people online that have just got loads of praise for it, that I think are saying it massively over-delivered against their expectation. But it seems like a lot in our community just thought it was okay. Like, you know, maybe even a little bit below average. But as I said, I don't want to just bury it, because I do think that it got pretty decent in the middle and towards the end. At the very end, though, Maxxine actually won the match by countouts. So actually won the match by countout. So Maxxine gets the win. That's obviously going to have repercussions, probably heading towards some sort of rematch. This was doing the rounds as well. So here, if we just try and play this clip. So Becky goes down. It's 1, 2, 3. I mean, it does look like it's a 3 count. I think what's really interesting, it doesn't look like Jessica swipes away. It looks like she does actually go for that 3 count, which I just so much prefer. I mean, this is not a major talking point. I think it's one of those that as you're watching it live, it's quite close. If the referee says it's not a 3 count, then I think people just are quite happy to go with it. Obviously, if the referee just refuses to count that 3rd count like we saw the other day, then it stands out a bit more. It becomes a bit more of an obvious botch. So, yeah, I mean, potentially there was a 3 count here. Potentially, Maxxine did pin Becky. Becky leaving it way too close. Seems like there is a bit more work that needs to be done with close near falls. But there we go. So, Alfred saying Maxxine Balboa won by count out and pinfall. So, again, a little bit of a talking point there. Backstage, mate, look at this. Roman Reigns says to Jey he needs to focus on opportunities, pointing out that CM Punk is starting hour 2, is going to be opening hour 2. Obviously, that's a big deal, right? Whatever starts the next hour is a big segment because people are flicking channels. They've probably just finished watching a program. They're flicking channels. So you need to start the hour with something big. And Roman's like, so Punk's starting the hour, not you. Roman then turned to Jimmy and basically said, I see everything. What's wrong with me giving Jey advice? It's a really good segment. Really good segment. Because obviously we saw Jimmy not looking pleased last week as Roman was kind of talking to Jey. So we really did get some development here, right? You can see down here Earl saying this story is so good. I agree. Really good. What's the problem with him taking advice from me? So there they were. There was the 3 of them. And there was Jimmy. Very, very good. Very good. Right, then we moved on to our next match. So our next match, our second match, was Lyra against Roxanne. And this was really interesting because Bayley wanted to come out with Lyra. Lyra allowed it. Roxanne would end up getting the victory. There was lots of outside noise. Bayley getting involved. Raquel getting involved. Basically, in the carnage, Roxanne picked up the victory. Bayley was livid. And she was like, come on, let's go and get them. And Bayley had been quite positive throughout the match, but you know, she did that kind of moment where it felt like she was going to turn, but she didn't turn on Lyra. She actually said to Lyra, let's go and get them. These 2 went to the back. We would see them attack Roxanne and Raquel later on in the show. Right, then we got a bit of a video package for AJ Styles, John Cena, and they were using TNA footage. So obviously we've not been seeing that, but this partnership with TNA means that we can actually use TNA footage in those kind of video packages. Also backstage we had AJ Styles. He went up to the Judgment Day, and Dominic was saying, you can't even beat me, so what makes you think you're going to beat John Cena, right? And he was wearing that shirt. That's Dominic when he was young, I think playing on like a PSP. It's from an old episode of Raw, I believe, or SmackDown. And yeah, it's just like I don't know why he's got that as a shirt. I'm guessing they're probably selling it on WWE Shop. But yeah, this basically led to a 6-man tag match being made. So it would be AJ, Penta, Dragon Lee against Dominic, Finn, and JD. And it was spoken about the tag titles potentially being defended in the future against AJ and Dragon Lee. So that does feel like a match that we're probably going to get a bit further down the road. It was also at this point we got the start times for Crown Jewel. This coming from Sean Ross Sapp. You can see all the various start times. So obviously this is for the start of the show, not the countdown, right? There's a countdown show before it. So in London it's going to be 1 p.m. lunchtime. New York it's going to be 8 a.m. Hopefully you've kind of got your heads around it and you know like what you're going to do this weekend, because it's really going to be all happening at a very strange time. Backstage there is Lyra and Bayley. They were going after Roxanne and Raquel. We would find out that a tag match was going to be made for next week. All of that took place in the first hour. All of that was in the first hour. There are so many talking points in this week's episode, right? Then we went to the CM Punk segment. He was talking away and then being interrupted by LA Knight. So LA Knight got into the ring. He said, "Look in my eyes. What do you see?" CM Punk said, "Someone who interrupted me." This was not great for LA Knight here. You know, he kind of came out with a bit of a line where he was saying about, you're more known for being a husband now than you are for pipe bombs. And CM Punk was like, is that meant to be a bad thing? Obviously, CM Punk's really proud of his wife. I think he's quite happy to be known as a husband to AJ Lee. And LA Knight was like, no, don't get me wrong. That's not a bad thing. And it was clunky. It wasn't like the great killer lines that LA Knight needed. So, yeah, I've got to agree here. Punk cooked LA Knight. I don't think this was good for LA Knight, him being in there with CM Punk. There does seem to be levels to this game, and Punk is God mode, you know. But then we would bring down Jay. I thought LA Knight did better here with Jay. Jey Uso tells CM Punk and LA Knight he is up next for the World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, Jay has got all those words going round his head from Roman, right? All of that advice. He wanted to show that he was going to walk the walk, not just talk the talk, you know. This was great, though. CM Punk went up to Jay and he said, "Look, I love Jey Uso. I don't like little Roman." So basically, CM Punk is saying, don't let Roman fill your head with that rubbish. Don't let him corrupt you, because I love Jey Uso, but I do not like little Roman. Little Roman was a hell of a line. Hell of a line. Then we had a lot of shenanigans. Basically, it resulted in Jimmy super kicking CM Punk. Jay had gone after LA Knight. LA Knight was on the outside of the ring by this point. And honestly, there's so many moving parts here. It's so hard to know. Is Jimmy going to turn? Is Jay turning? Is Jimmy going to abandon Jay? Is Jay going to abandon Jimmy? You know, how does LA Knight fit into it? How does Roman fit into it? How does CM Punk fit into it? I feel like there's about 20, 30 different paths that this story can go down. It's so hard to know which direction it's going to go. Very, very compelling, though. Very compelling. This, of course, would set up our main event, which would be the Usos against CM Punk and LA Knight. Then we got into Kairi Iyo. This match, of course, was made earlier in the evening. First thing Iyo did was go after Asuka. It was the very first thing that she did. The match would get underway. This took place during commercial break. Look at that. An Alabama slam on the outside by Kairi to Iyo. Iyo smacking her head on the edge of the ring. You can see how brutal that looks. Good match, though. This was our third match of the evening, and it was the highest rated match of the night. You lot said it was great. 56%. This was the finish, and I thought this was really weird because, I mean, surely she can see. I mean, it's kind of like, I know she's having to watch the shoulders of Iyo, but I mean, it doesn't take much to notice that this is going on. I mean, it's right there. So, I know, it was just one of those moments, you know. Referee not noticing. We've seen it before. We'll see it again. But basically, Kairi picked up the win thanks to cheating. She cheated her way to victory. And this is really interesting. There was no Rhea because she's in Australia already promoting Crown Jewel, getting people excited, helping to shift those final tickets. But so, you know, Iyo was on her own here. But yeah, you know, look, Kairi accepting help to cheat. And not only that, but afterwards, she would actually deliver a spinning back fist. I mean, here's Kairi delivering a spinning back fist. There wasn't much resistance. You know, Asuka held Iyo and Kairi just did it. I was really surprised that Kairi was so quick to cheat and also so quick to basically attack Iyo after the match. She would then come to realize, that she was pretty gutted. She would be down there, look, head in her hands. I think like the realization of it hit her afterwards, but there she was. So she's still going through quite a trauma. That was just a great sign in the crowd. Look at this. What an amazing sign that is. There's Asuka. There is Kairi. Kairi! I thought that was brilliant. And if you want to talk about brilliant, how about these next two backstage segments? These are special. So here, like, we've got Becky ranting at the fact that she lost earlier in the night, right? Going off about how she was cheated, how the referee counted too quickly, how it was never a count out, right? All the while you've got Seth looking at that watch that was given to him by Cody Rhodes. So Seth fixing his watch for a whole minute whilst his wife is hollering. So I don't think he heard a single word that she said. But basically, when she left, he turned around to Paul Heyman and he said, "What happens if I lose?" And Heyman was like, "You're not going to lose." And he's like, "Paul, what happens if I lose?" And Heyman said, "Look, you'll lose the locker room. You'll lose everything we've built since WrestleMania. You'll become nothing but a de facto secondary champion. You'll lose the faith of Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, that your vision is the vision for the future." I mean, it was amazing, right? Seth Rollins also asked about Paul what happens between them as well. "If you lose, I have to ask myself, why did I pick Roman over, why did I pick you over Roman?" So, I mean, they have really stacked that match this week. It is. No one cares about the Crown Jewel Championship. It's not even about the Crown Jewel Championship. Who wins the match? Is Seth not only going to finally get a victory over Cody, because obviously he's 3-0 since Cody returned, is he going to get a victory? But not only that, here you've got Paul Heyman saying, if you lose, Bron and Bronson, they're going to wonder if you're the right guy. I'm going to wonder if you're the right guy. The locker room is not going to respect you anymore. Like, a loss has got big consequences for Seth Rollins this weekend. Really good segment. Captivating, engaging. Just loved it. And then we followed it with this. So, Roman kind of really bigging up Jey again. Jey telling Jimmy, you know the plan, yeah? You know what you've got to do, yeah? And Jey going off. And then we got another Jimmy-Roman interaction. So when your brother won that World Heavyweight Championship, he became more like me and less like you. And if you really want to help your brother, sometimes you just need to get out of his way. I mean, this is so interesting. This is Roman basically saying to Jimmy, like, you're not his level. When he won that world title, he took big steps forwards. You're still where you were. Jey is not. And so, Roman wants to keep investing in Jey, get Jey back to being that world heavyweight champion. I think Roman would be down for Jey running things on Raw, maybe Roman running things on SmackDown. And honestly, I'm not sure where Jimmy kind of fits into those plans. I think Jimmy is a bit concerned about all of this as well. So, it's just such a good story. Really good story. Right, then we were kind of running out of time, but we had our co-main event, of course, that 6-man tag match. This was Penta, AJ, Dragon Lee taking on the Judgment Day. Penta making his way down, and Slam-X with a really good point. Did Penta forget his contact lenses? Because it is true, like, his eyes normally have like a bit of color to them, contact lenses. So I thought that was a really good observation. We did get this moment as well where... Boom, look, even AJ giving it a go, right? I'm sure the internet's going to have a lot of fun with that clip. So there we go. So this match would continue. It was fine. You lot said it was like good 98. You said it was about as good as Lyra Roxanne, to be honest. And so Rusev would come down. He would go after Dominic, but he ended up getting super kicked by Penta. Now, commentary were making out that it was a bit of a mistake. They were kind of making out that Penta didn't mean to superkick Rusev, but he did. AJ Styles would end up getting the pin on JD, and it would be a win for AJ, Penta, and Dragon Lee. But the Dominic Rusev Penta situation definitely feels like some sort of talking point. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if that's going to lead to a triple threat in the future. There's obviously a lot of people going for that Intercontinental Championship at the moment, so that definitely feels like a big talking point coming out of this. But yeah, Judgment Day would end up suffering a loss there. Then, of course, we would have this moment. This would be AJ Styles. He would actually go onto the microphone. Well, I don't even know if the... Oh, there it is. The match at Crown Jewel. So this was after the match. That match at Crown Jewel, we don't need a storyline. It writes itself. You've got two men who will dance for the last time. And I promise you this, we will leave it all in the ring. It will kick ass. So there's AJ giving a salute, and that's what he wanted to say. He just wanted to let everyone know that they are really going to try and deliver this weekend in that match. Then it was very quickly to our main event. And this was pretty funny because we had the camera on the entranceway waiting for the Usos and they never emerged. We were just waiting and waiting and waiting. And it took ages for them to come out. Even Wade was like, have they got lost? But they did eventually come out and they came out to Jay's music. They did not come out to the Usos' music, came out to Jay's music, right? We also found out some of the matches for next week. So we've got Bayley and Lyra against Raquel and Roxanne. Obviously, we knew that was coming with the backstage attack. And also we found out Dirty Dom Penta Intercontinental Championship match. Obviously expecting Rusev to get involved there, right? Rusev to get involved. Hello, what's this? Liv Morgan said, y'all, I'm dying at the jelly pop. So Supercards have actually come out with some new Liv Morgan cards. So the jelly pop, which I've never had, but there is a video of her enjoying a jelly pop where it pops in her mouth, right? So it looks like Supercard have added that. And is that a Dirty Dom vest? So Daddy Dom, yes. So there's some extra cards if you are a fan of Supercards. So there we go. Liv Morgan online 6 hours ago. Always great to hear from Liv. Right, then we went to our main event match. This didn't get loads of time, but here's CM Punk. He's on the top and he's about to deliver a yeet. Bang, before delivering the elbow. And the finish, I think, had people a little bit underwhelmed. So this match, you lot said, was good 92. Didn't really grab you. I think it really was a bit flat for a main event. I think they ran out of time. But basically, Jay got distracted by LA Knight. CM Punk ended up hitting a GTS. LA Knight then quickly got in the ring and stole the pin. LA Knight pins Jey Uso. I don't think Jimmy can be blamed. I did go back to rewatch it. Jay was winning. I mean, it's Jay getting distracted by LA Knight that results in this moment. It's not really Jimmy's fault. But I wonder if Jay and Roman are still going to blame Jimmy. I wonder if Jimmy will still be blamed, right? The way the show ends is this right here. These two looking at each other. CM Punk not pleased at the fact that LA Knight took that pin away from him. LA Knight with a big smile on his face. Feels like he just got one over CM Punk. This feels like we could be heading to a match. Something. This as well. So Jey Uso speared CM Punk, but he wasted time with LA Knight. Punk takes advantage, hits a GTS, but it's LA Knight that tagged himself in and got the pin. And that was Raw. It was flipping bonkers. I mean, we've never done a Talking Points video that's gone this long. I feel like so much backstage, so much going on, so many stories that they're telling. I mean, look, there was only one match that our community said was great. So I certainly don't think this is like a mind-blowing episode, but I do think it was a good episode, a solid episode with some really interesting storyline development. There's lots of reasons to tune in to Crown Jewel. There's lots of reasons to tune in again next week. I think they've done really well with that. But yeah, only one match got into that great range. That's definitely an area that could have been improved. I think the main event underwhelmed. I think the ending was a bit flat. I think those are areas that could have been improved as well. But again, considering this was a go-home show, considering this is just to set up Crown Jewel, I actually thought it was a really impressive effort. So there we go. That was the Talking Points video for this week's Raw. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, I'll see you this weekend. We'll be doing the live watch-along for Crown Jewel. So, thanks for watching. Bye for now.